Just going to put this at the beginning of the video. I am going to link a playlist below. This is all of my cutting videos from last year, which it ended up being 100 days, a little over 100 days of cutting in total. So if you want to go through and look at the videos one by one, you can really get a concept of like how I adjusted my macros and calories and whatnot, and what kind of weight loss I saw within the time period given. So hope you guys enjoy this. What's up, guys? So I got asked to speak on meal frequency. I am not an expert in the field. I am not a nutritionist, so know that before watching this. I'm just basically going to speak on how I diet at given times. As far as meal frequency itself, the best I know from what I've read upon as far as eating smaller frequent meals throughout the day, or, giant meals, be it one meal a day, be it intermittent fasting, which I'll get to that more in depth in a second because that is something I know a little bit about. For me personally, calories are what matter. I've not really noticed a difference in changing metabolism as far as eating more frequently or eating less frequently, or bigger meals or smaller meals, or bigger meals throughout the day. I'm not even going to say like 6 small meals a day. If I eat 6 meals a day, it's going to be 6 fucking meals. So as far as personal anecdotal experience, very minimal effect on my metabolism as far as frequency goes. And I think from what I've read, for most people, that's generally how it is. Manipulating your metabolism, while you can to an extent, especially now with like the reverse dieting and stuff, you can train your metabolism a little bit, I guess. Again, I'm speaking outside of my realm of general knowledge here. But that's something, manipulating your metabolism is one of those little minute things that make up the bigger picture that there's probably other things you should be doing right first before meal frequency is a concern. That said, me personally, how I diet, if I'm bulking, I eat when I'm hungry, which is often, and I eat as much as I want, and I don't really track so long as I'm gaining weight. There's no need to really track calories, and I am exceptionally efficient at putting on weight. Not muscle, per se, but weight. I can gain weight like it's nobody's business. So I don't really track there. If you were doing a lean bulk or a clean bulk, you're going to want to track and, be a 500 to 1,000 calorie surplus per day or whatever. When I'm bulking, it's generally to fill out a weight class. So long as I'm not going too fast, I can generally eyeball my food and be okay, and fill out that weight class. There's nothing aesthetic about it. I don't give a fuck about looks, obviously. So there's that. When I'm bulking, I eat high quality foods. Most of my foods are high quality, whole foods, but I'm not afraid to eat a bag of potato chips or a pint of ice cream or a box of cereal or a whole pizza, shit like that, when bulking. And I don't need to track, even hitting X amount of protein is even less important when you're bulking than when you're cutting. Because when you're in that caloric surplus and gaining weight, having a huge amount of protein is not as big of a deal. So that's how I eat when I'm bulking. When I am cutting, I do intermittent fasting. There is no magic to intermittent fasting. There's no special fat burning period. When you go X amount of hours without eating, your body converts body fat to fuel, etc., etc. I do 16 hours off, 8 hours on. And it's generally 3 meals a day for me when I'm intermittent fasting. I'll have meal number 1, which will have most, if not all, of my fats in it for the day, and a lot of protein and a little bit of carbs. Meal 2 will be a very small meal pre-workout, protein and carbs. And then meal 3 will be a giant meal, protein and carbs. And the way I set it up generally, I've been saying generally a lot because I'm pretty fucking generic. The way I set it up, I save the majority of my calories for post-workout, and all of my protein, well, not all, I mean all of my fats are meal 1 away from my workout. And that way I have a whole bunch of high-quality protein and carbohydrates before and after my workout to help with fueling workouts, because training in a caloric deficit fucking sucks. When I cut, I usually I can start around 4,000 calories when I cut, just eating cleaner foods because I like to stay full, and a lot of the water weight will come off. And, you know, when I really get to the meat and potatoes of it, pun intended, you know, I'll get down as low as 2,200 calories near the end of my cuts. And that's usually when I stop my cuts, because at that point I feel fucking miserable as far as being hungry all the time. And, you know, last time I think I ended at 268, 267, I don't remember. Somewhere around there. The time before that I ended in the 250s. So I usually end a little bit higher than the previous time, so there's some muscle being gained. And I do it, like I said, not for aesthetic reasons, more for getting back to a healthier body weight. Because while I feel great under the bar at 300 pounds and weights move fast and I feel strong as fuck, I feel like shit tying my shoes and walking upstairs and stuff like that. So I don't like to be like that all the time. I like to train at a lower body weight and then really start packing on the pounds as I get to peaking. So yeah, as far as like the caloric spread and the numbers, you know, hold on, I think I actually have, yep, this is from last year's cut. Like when I started last year's cut, I started at 3,000 calories, it looks like. And I do track every fucking macro and every calorie when I'm cutting. I take 10-day averages. So like my first 10-day average, I averaged 2,945 calories, 279 carbs, 277 protein, 68 fats. Keep track of my average weight, my average macros for the 10 days, etc. I'm really meticulous when I cut. And that's it. I intermittently fast and I track macros and calories, and that's how cutting happens for me. So that's my take on dieting, I guess, and or meal frequency. Hope you guys enjoyed.